Hi guys, and welcome back to the Iron Personal Training YouTube channel. We're back finally with another video, and we're starting our strength block of training. So this session actually took place ages ago, just before Christmas, but we're finally getting the videos out for this block of training, and we're doing 6 times 6 at 142.5 kilos. This was the first session in this bench block where we're now trying to build that strength. So we're moving away from a more hypertrophy based block into a more of a strength-based block. And as you can see, bar moving really nicely. I was really happy with how we were seeing. Not quite a comp pause on here, but not quite a touch and go as well. Just to keep that bar moving and get as far as we can into the movement, not using wrist wraps on that set as well. We then come on to what was set number 3. As you can see, getting ourselves nice and set up. One thing you'll notice if you watch a lot of my videos is that my setup is very consistent. It's the same every time I set up the bench, and that's something that I've worked really hard on, so that every time I bench I know I'm doing the same thing and going to be in the same positions. A lot of times you see people set up different like every time they do it, and it's a real easy way to like throw your bench off doing stuff like that. So as you can see, come down, slight pause, again, definitely not a comp pause, not quite a touch and go either. And as you can see, bar moving really nicely. So yeah, really happy with how these are moving. A really good start to the block. And as you can see, a little bit longer pause on that last rep, a little bit slower rep, but still managed to lock it out fairly easily. And then we come on to the 6th set. So this is the final set of doing these. And again, if you watch, just that same setup each time, getting ourselves nice and ready to lift. Getting that nice, strong arch position, engaging the back and the lats, using our legs. So what a lot of people forget when they're benching is how to use the legs efficiently. And what you want to do if you're benching toes up is you want to try and drive your heels as close to the ground as possible, and you want to squeeze your glutes as well. And when you say drive your heels to the ground, a lot of people think that means you're telling them for the heels to touch the ground, and we're not. You just want to be pressing your heels towards the ground, and you want to be pushing back towards the wall behind you or towards the rack. Just to give you that little bit of extra of explosive power out of that bottom position as well. And you can see a little bit slower there and rack it. So really happy with how this session went. We then come on to some max rep close grip bench. So we're literally just going for as many reps as we can with 100 kilos. So we're not really bothered about how many reps we do get. We're literally just trying to get to that failure point. So really push the muscles and try and build that bit of extra strength and resilience in the triceps for when they're working. And again, moved very nicely. Very happy with how this felt. A lot of stuff, what I was feeling coming into this block, and we'll talk about this later as we talk about some of the accessory work, is that my bench was slowing down almost as we got to that lockout point. So there's a lot of stuff we're working on to try and speed that up as much as possible. And here we are doing one of my favourite back exercises, chest supported row with a shrug into the row. So basically you get into this position, so your chest supported by the bench, hold the dumbbell, shrug up as you can see there, and then row into that movement as well. So we're making that range of motion a little bit longer and getting a bit of extra work into the back. Then come on to some lat pull down. So what you'll have known if you watched a lot of my videos before is that we like to do a lot of by the minute work on lats to start with, but now we're getting to that strength phase where we really want to get the lats nice and strong. So we're swapping that out now for some heavy lat pull downs, working to kind of that like 10 rep to failure point if we can push it a little bit further. Then go on to another exercise that I've really enjoyed doing. Again, another max rep exercise. We're doing front raises with the bar. So the front delts are often a muscle area that are overlooked when benching. It's going to do a lot of your stabilising work and really going to help you get that pop off the bottom. So don't forget to work your front delts as well, especially if they feel tight or if they feel weak in that bench movement. This is an exercise that I'd really recommend doing. If you can't do them with a 20 kg bar yet, you can always do them with a 15 kilo bar or something lighter. We then do some chain tricep extensions. Now these are really good for 2 reasons. One, the weight is going to be heaviest at that point where I said I feel like I was slowing down in my bench. And 2, it's going to create a lot of instability in the movement as well. So you're teaching your triceps not only to lock out in that weakest position, but you're also getting them to work on that stability in the movement as well. So if you feel like you're wobbly at your bench as you come to that midpoint or anywhere near lockout, this can be a really good exercise to do to stop that from happening. yeah, really recommend giving these a go. If you don't have change, you could obviously do them with bands wrapped around the bench as well. Doing another change just obviously looks and feels a lot cooler in my mind. Anyway, we'll then come on to some lying bicep curls, probably my favourite bicep exercise now. Couple of reasons for that. We get a good long stretch in there, so we're working on a bit of tendon strength as well as bicep strength. And it just feels like a nice movement where you get a really big pump in the biceps, really isolating as well. And the reason we train biceps quite a lot is not to try and have big biceps, bodybuilder kind of style, is because the biceps will do a lot of the stabilizer work again in the bench press as you're coming down. So if you have weak biceps while you're benching, you're not going to be able to be as stable, and you're not going to be able to create that nice strong platform at the bottom of the movement to give you a nice big press out of that bottom position. So that's why we train biceps quite a lot as well. And always do a lot of like hammer curls and stuff like that for tendon strength and health as well. Then come on to some forearm work. I'm just doing some cable wrist curls, trying to get that inside part of the forearm. And again, since I've put forearm work into my bench training, my bench has felt so much better. I've been able to do a lot more work without any wrist wraps on as well, which has been really nice. So you can feel that kind of strength coming through it as well. And it's helped a lot with obviously my low bar squats as well. But that's it for the video, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed. Hopefully we'll be able to get some videos out a bit more regularly soon. And do remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, which I believe we'll be looking at a squat day. So the first session of squats in my strength block. So I'll see you then, guys. Thank you all again for watching. Have a good one, and I'll see you later.